Hello, Aries. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Light Zeros Tarot by Chris Ann. Website for Chris Ann is chris-ann with an e.com. It's at the end of the last sentence in that paragraph. There's a picture of Chris Ann, of course. Okay. Supportive Oracle cards. Energy Oracle cards by Sandra Ann Taylor. There's websites for her. Hay House websites. Feel free to freeze frame any of those you might want. There's also the Hay House radio here on the back with a picture of Sandra. If you want that, feel free to freeze frame on that and check that out if you want to. Okay, what do we have for Aries? Oh, we're going to have all these? That card. I cannot get away. Cannot get away from this one card. This is Aries, right? Alright, so putting yourself out there. When Aries wants to, like, I don't see that being a difficult thing. What are we switching over towards here? You got this one too. This one came out again. The primal chakra, the root chakra, the red chakra. Which is very, like, I know it's red, but there's something here that's just, like, you're walking away from something you want? Is that true? Like, are you walking away from something you want? Why would you do that? Are you? Is that correct for Aries? Are they walking away from something they want? Six of fire. That's success in the Chariot. This is what you're walking away from. You're walking away from success and something that there's a lot more energy coming in, but I feel like it's the energy that's matching it. Something is trying to kind of pull you in a little bit more emotionally, and it's uncomfortable. This is something, I feel like you're walking away from something there's success. You're walking away from some success. Somebody wants more than you want to give. Now, I understand you have to have it in your control. I get that. Totally get that. But it's kind of like we're playing the all or nothing game. All or nothing, all or nothing. Which, the truth for Aries is you're either all in or you're all out. You don't do halfway very well. And that's very, 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 very true. I understand that. So it's not like, I don't see that being a negotiable. You're either in and you're in, or you're out and forget it. If you try to play the middle ground, it's usually a fail. So I totally get that. But something here can be ironed out better. I feel like we need to have a conversation that maybe you don't want to have. But I kind of understand that too. Kind of like, well, I don't want somebody to try to be what I want them to be. I want them to be who they are. And if it doesn't match, then it doesn't match. But no, we should be working this out more. Before we walk away from it, I feel like they're saying have the conversation. You know when somebody's lying to you. You know when they're saying what they want to say, but they think you want them to say. But you also know how to back up your words, kind of like, I'm telling you this is how it is, and if you do that, I'm doing this. Like, you know how to put it down there, like, I'm not negotiating, I'm telling you. You know how to put yourself out there that way. Like, I'm not negotiating, I don't want that. It's kind of like somebody, I'll use the relationship, I'll use a couple other things too, but if somebody's coming to you and they're like, I want to get married, and you're like, I don't really think that's for me because I don't want kids. And then they're kind of having to deal with that in the sense of, like, if they do want kids, or they're like, well, I don't think it should be off the table. And you're like, well, for me it is. So if you want kids, you're with the wrong person because I don't want that. Or maybe you don't want to get married. I don't know if it's a new idea or not, but, like, marriage is, if you want it, great. If you don't want it, then don't do it. I feel like it doesn't have to be something that has to happen. But if the other person seems to be like, well, I'm going towards somebody to marry, and you're like, well, I'm not, so I guess we're going different ways, let's split, or do we need to have a conversation about this? If you want to get married, why is it that you want to get married? Because I don't. So let's, like, what else is there a middle ground? Not that Aries does middle ground. See, that's the catch-22. Aries doesn't really do middle ground. You don't want to do it. You're not going to do it. Or is it vice versa? Is it they don't want to get married and you do, and you're like, well, if it's not going to happen, then this isn't the one. Why do we need that? I'm also getting like a business thing, kind of like Aries doesn't like being controlled. We don't put up with that. And I say we. I have some strong Aries in my chart in certain places. There's certain situations that is just not negotiable. Yeah, it's basically if they want something, you're like, I mean, but you don't want them to play the game like they're going to give you something that they're never going to give you, or they're going to go along with something that they don't really want. You're not interested in that. If they don't really want it, you don't want them there either. But something is off balance here. There's deceit here, but what is the deceit really? Because it's on the other side. Aries doesn't really want for deceit. You could be strategic, but not really deceit. Eight of Pentacles and then the Strength card. They're holding a lot back. The other side is holding a lot back, but they're playing a game. Oh, well. There's something else going on here. So if this, especially if this is a work situation where you're like, well, they want to go this way and I'm not going that way. Somebody's playing a weird game. It makes me wonder, is there a third party involved here? Because somebody's playing a game, but I feel like there's a misconception here. Something really needs to be talked out, and I don't see you talking with the Seven of Swords. It's just you're making your decision and moving on it. This needs to be talked out. I feel like if the truth comes forward, and Aries is all about the truth. Y'all are. You know you are. The truth, can't do anything without the truth. Whatever it is, let's just deal with it. Let's get into it. I feel like you're walking away from it like I don't need to hear it because I already know what it is and I'm making my decision and I'm just moving on my decision. No, go into it. Something isn't right here. Find out the truth because there's something with manipulation going on here. And somebody else wants to keep something where it is and they're trying to hold the situation in a certain pattern, but it seems like there's a third party manipulating it here. And I don't feel like this is correct. Somebody else is pulling the strings. The Magician is over here on the other side. It says Magician in the mirror, but I'm definitely feeling Magician here. In the sense of like, somebody's doing something over to the side and somebody else is making things work out the way they want, not the way you want. There's something here that doesn't make sense. I feel like there's a third party. It's annoying. It's really obnoxious. Because I feel like at some point you'll figure it out. And it's going to be like, that's not what I thought was going on there. And it's going to change the whole scope, the whole landscape of what's really going on here. We got to find out what the truth is. Have that conversation with whoever this is. Before you make your decision and just go move on it, talk it out. Talk it out. Because I feel you're going to know if this person's just telling you what you want to hear. You're going to know. And if they do that, you're going to have the same answer and do what you got to do. But there's something here where there's more of a primal energy. There's more of a grit here that's not being explored. This may be more compatible to you than you realize. It's almost like a secondary or third party energy is kind of making it look like something that it's not. And that's what I keep getting from this. Search deeper. Definitely search deeper. If Aries is able to search a little deeper and have this talk, where does that go? Let's just be fair. Let's just be fair. Where is this? If Aries has that talk, they stick around, they have that talk, and they work it out, where does that go? Justice comes in, and the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups is kind of like moving on from one thought and moving into another. Whatever the situation looks like it is now, I feel like it can evolve into something different. It may not be what you expected, but it still could be something more successful here. I'm getting their success here. You're walking away from success. I feel like having this talk also might smoke out whoever this deceiver is. And I feel like you're all about that. You would love to know who that is. And you will call that out. Once you see them for who they are, you'll shut that down in 5 seconds. That's not going to work. Three of Cups with the High Priestess. Which makes me feel like somebody thinks that they are doing what they think is right. They don't think they're wrong. They may not even have bad intentions. But I also feel like this is something they're not supposed to, this is not for them to do this with. This is somebody who believes that they should be involved with something that they really shouldn't. I think that's the thing. This is somebody who thinks that they have every right and that they're doing the right thing. But once they're seen for who they are, I feel like their influence is it's cut right off. I feel like it's cut right off. Kind of like, oh yeah, they're saying something again. Well, they will, and that's fine. I feel like they're completely removed with effectiveness anyway. They might be actually still there saying what they're going to say, but their effectiveness is greatly diminished. Greatly diminished. Once you see it for what it is and you call it out, it won't be an issue anymore. Mostly because you're going to keep your eye on it, just to be fair. You're not going to like trust that again. You're going to be like, well, I'm going to keep my eye on that. And because you do, that's why it's not going to be a problem again. Not like it's just going to go, oh, you caught me and leave you alone. It's because you're going to keep your eye on it. Is there anything else? See, this cornucopia can be yours, but it's kind of like, is it going to be yours? Is it going to be yours or the deceiver's? And if you stick around and have this talk and work this out, the cornucopia is something that there's a different outcome that can be achieved that's not seen at the moment. It's something you're not even thinking of. There's a different outcome. There really is. It's weird. It's a weird situation. Really is, because I feel like a lot of people could end up upset with the Three of Hearts. Somebody's going to get Three of Hearts, Three of Swords. It's because that heart is so big there. If the deceiver ends up with this card, I don't feel bad about that. But if you or the person you're directly dealing with end up with this card, I don't feel like that's justice. I feel like that's injustice, just to be fair. All right, the message is there. I think we're all set. All right, I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thanks again for watching, and have a great day.